Hello, I'm Leandra from PaperArtsy, and this video is to show you all about our stamps from Darcy WIlkinson, and she is part of our Eclectica, one of the designers from our Eclectica series. When Darcy first started designing for us, she came up with a couple of heart sets of stamps. These both worked with and still work with our dies, and then she's moved on to a couple of Christmas ones, and from there she moved into a series of about 4 stamps with all kinds of elements, floral elements, etc. Here's a couple more. So that shows you her style. She's a hand-drawn artist, and she always tends to bring in little bits of script onto things. So like on the veins of the leaves here, there's script, and also lots of steampunk type elements. She's quite into the cogs and the gears and you know, those kinds of things like that, which I think these were a real nightmare for her to draw at the time, but they're such a cool stamp. And she's also had some minis along the way. Again, a mixture of images. This little steampunky snail's always been very popular. A little house that works in nicely with some of the other stamps, or background elements. So that's what she's done for us in the past. Moving on, for her newest release, she's got some great stamps. Let me show you what we've got. So she's gone a lot more flora fauna on this particular release. I really think that these tend to be stamps, flowers that look like they could have come off some Martian planet or something. They're just fantastic with all the little weird elements that she adds in. She's still got little cogs and gears going on. Love the little spiky background stamp here. Could be quite underwatery as well. That looks a bit sort of like stuff that you'd find seaweedy sort of style. And then she always has quotes and things on there too. Here's another one. Just love the shape of this big huge head, and she's got sort of like rivets all the way going up the stalk of the flower. They look like screw heads, and the same elements are repeated on this little one here. Plate 13. These round elements, because I'm into round at the moment, I'm going to be using those a lot. Great little border. Another little sparkly thing for backgrounds. Leaf that you can add on wherever you wish. And here we go. I love the little spikes on here, and she's sort of reiterated the spikes in this background here. So fantastic stamps. Plus she's also got some minis to go with these. So I'll show you these. Nice little toadstool, spirally thing. Again, the spiral elements coming through. Quite a fan of the little fat chicken. And a nice owl, birdhouse, and a heart. All of these stamps obviously work really well with her main sets of stamps, so you can use them to sort of add to that or features within that. And all of the minis always come trimmed out on the back of the index sheet for you, ready to use. Okay, so let's take a look at some samples. The first samples we've got of Darcy's stamps is from Penny Nuttall, and she's obviously thinking along the same lines as me, that these are sort of some kind of specimens from a weird planet, because she's come up with a specimen jar or a cloche, and she's even used microscope slides on her samples here. So she's really sort of rocking the whole scientific thing, which I think is quite clever. They do look really good inside those. So that's Penny. And Alison Bomber has done quite a number here. So we've got a cute little ATC owl, which is Mini 14. EM14 is the code on that one. She's put a gloss glaze over the top when she was been working with the paint, and by putting a gloss glaze on top it makes the colours look lots brighter, and so they really pop off the backgrounds. Another sort of triptych type idea going on here. Really cool colours. And a bigger piece. I love this stamp. This is, I think, my favourite stamp at the moment. We're trying to figure out how she matched everything up so perfectly, and then we decided she must have put a piece of paper down and done it, and then raised, because this section here is raised up quite a bit, so she must have created the paper, stamped it, and then perhaps mounted it onto board afterwards. But I'm sure if you go to Alison Bomber's website or blog, you'll be able to find the instructions. Probably a lot more clearly describe than what I can. Fantastic. Emma Godfrey and I had a little Darcy challenge this week, so we spent a bit of time having a bit of a play. So we just came up with some quick ideas. So that's Emma using those stamps. I love how she's taken the circular element, which is from Darcy 13. Can you see that round one there, Darcy 13? She's used that to create sort of a bigger flower, and then the centre of this element here is the centre of the flower. That looks quite cute. She's got the leaf from the bottom of the plate as well on there. So that works really well. And then I just did a quick sample here using that flower here from Darcy 11. And I actually borrowed a stalk from one of the other stamps as well. Just layered it up, cut the middles out. In fact, that's onto one of the backgrounds I made the other day. So, a lot of fun. Let's show you what Darcy's been up to. Okay, so let's start with some of the amazing samples that Darcy's done. I must say, on the blog, she's got loads of three-dimensional art samples that she's made. So if you go onto the PaperArtsy blog and take a look, you'll see what Darcy more typically does. She tends not to work flat like these samples are, but obviously posting teacups and handbags and things in the post is not quite so easy. So just wanted to point out on this one here, she's used the little leaf at the side here to make the petals for the flowers. And then the centre of the flower is one of these blobby flower heads. So that works really well. It makes a really nice shape as a flower petal actually, that leaf. I really like that. And onto this one here, she's got a little owl. This is actually in a niche. It's quite a big chunky piece of mount board I think that she's used here. And she's even punched through to the layer below so you can see little pops of yellow coming through. So that's that one. Now we're totally flummoxed how she's achieved this. It's using, we think, the stem of this flower here at plate 12 has got all the little screw heads and things. So yep, we can see that she's done that quite easily with straight sections. No idea how she's managed to bend it round so successfully for the R, unless she did a little bit of cunning designery thing and made her own bendy version, or unless I'm missing something off another plate. I'm not sure, but anyway, she's done it, and the reveal of how she's done that will be somewhere either on her blog or the PaperArtsy blog. Now, she's also created a great little sort of panorama here using the lovely little chicken. And she's got a couple of other stamps in there of the flowers and the spirally mini, which is, this one is Eclectica Mini 10, and this little guy is Eclectica Mini 12. And she's also used, this is a leaf, which is in Darcy Plate 14, EDY 14, and she's made sort of little trees out of it. And she's got strips of washi in the background there. And very typical Darcy, little pussycat. All kinds of background stamps and things going on in here. And it wouldn't be Darcy if we didn't have a masterpiece to show you. So we've got this amazing flower bouquet, which is just stunning. All of her flowers, and she's meticulously cut them out and arranged them in here. It's fabulous. And the basket is stunning at the bottom here. Just the way she's actually woven strips of card, she's stamped on them with, it'd be this pattern here from plate 13. So she's stamped that pattern onto the strips, which is just brilliant. And she's also used this fantastic chevron stamp here. Chevrons with little balls in between them like ball bearings, and that's stamped across here, and it's also stamped across the base of the basket there. So even though this is all brown tones, it just works so well. So I'll let you enjoy looking at that little basket. It's just fantastic. little basket. It's enormous. So, Darcy stamps are all available from your local PaperArtsy stockist. Check out online, have a look, see who you can find. If you're not sure, send us an email and we can point you to someone near you. Or look at my Twitter feed, because I'll always tweet our stockists on there as well. We look forward to seeing you back here for another video on our new 2015 releases.